just keep the volume down there. For the fourth course, enjoy the selection of Pokemon from the Winding Woods. Isn't that from Galar? Sword and Shield? Winding Woods. Maybe that's from Kalos. Maybe that is from Kalos. Oh, we can't heal. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Sorry, Lucario. Oh yeah, that's not. Let's run. Heal. They're all ghosted, just using darkness. Types don't do anything. Yeah, finish him off. For the fifth course, enjoy the selection of Pokemon that like evolution stones. Bon appetit. Of course. It's your brothers. You must be bursting at the seams. What did we get? We're gonna ask you to pay the usual 30 next time. Alright, we got a lot of berries. That's pretty good. Especially for when we start the Mega Dimension DLC. What else do we need to level up? We'll do that later. Rare candies. Might as well just make you level 50 now. You're missing an item to hold. Daisy's Lucario. It's actually Karina's Lucario. Should have known they give you a free Lucario. Just like an X and Y. I actually want to teach you Earthquake. As opposed to... oh, maybe I'll keep Dragon Pulse. Maybe. Okay, well, AZ's waiting here to battle us. I actually unlocked a cutscene, so after you've caught Xerneas and Yveltal, it unlocks a cutscene at Hotel Z. You just gotta enter Hotel Z and AZ stops you, asking you for a battle. So, let's see, knowing his Pokemon. At least what I think I remember of his Pokemon, we want to change up our team a little bit. Where's Xerneas? There we go. You know what? I want to level you up too. 80. Why not? You too. I did, I hyper-trained. Actually, no, I didn't hyper-train you, I just hyper-trained Lucario. Oops. Well, okay. I once believed that victory was the only meaning to be found from battle, but I am certain that I will enjoy battling you. I wonder if he remembers being Lysander now. He only remembers a little bit. You are being challenged by Pokemon Trainer L. That's really humbling that they just give him the title Pokemon Trainer, not X-Team Player, Master, or whatever. Oh, I definitely started with the wrong Pokemon. Gotta heal my buddy. So if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Lucario guy. That's why I have like 3 Lucarios at home. considering hyper training all of them once I have the bottle caps. Okay, he just took them out like that was nothing. I could see why Xerneas and Yveltal are banned from ranked matches this season. They're pretty OP. I just heard some news that some more Pokemon got leaked recently. Generation 10. I heard that even Generation 11 got leaked. I don't know how true that is, but from what I hear, a lot of people are excited because the next Legends game could take place in Galar, in Sword and Shield's region. And that specifically is interesting to me because it might actually take place during the first Darkest Day, which is where what do you call that again? The Dynamaxing and all that take place. And where Eternatus comes from, and we hear about it, like we see some of the lore drops in Sword and Shield. But this game might actually allow us to do Dynamax battles in real time combat, like we're doing here. And that actually excites me a lot. Like, seeing Pokemon finally move on from turn-based and actually be an action RPG has been really cool. Like, I like this game a lot. I would like it a lot, like, I would like Pokemon to succeed. You know, I don't hate Pokemon, but I understand where people find fault with this game, especially after the whole Nintendo suing Pocket Pals debacle and Pal World, obviously using designs that are very similar to Pokemon. You know, don't get me wrong. I played Pal Worlds, and I think it's also a really great game. It's really neat. It's not Pokemon though. Like it really has nothing on Pokemon. If I'm being honest, it has a lot of features that, like, yeah, a lot of us fans have wanted for Pokemon for a long time. But then I could say that about, you know, any Nintendo game that, like, they put just as much effort to make it unique, and just as little to, you know, do the bare minimum when it comes to development. Well, not development, like they develop great games. Nintendo still makes some of the best games, but if I'm being honest, like, optimization is what is the word I'm looking for. Because this game, you can clearly tell was designed for Nintendo Switch. It may be a launch title for the Switch 2, but it was designed for Nintendo Switch. And I think it plays, from what I've seen of the Switch 2, it plays pretty brilliantly on that system as well as this one. And I'm hearing a lot of the similar things with Zelda as well. A lot of it is just the way that the Switch 2 operates games. Games are just better optimized on there. Well, games run because of the faster CPU, obviously, but on the Switch 1, there are some games that were optimized pretty decently still on the Switch 1 that I think a lot of people forget. Like Breath of the Wild blew people's minds. Like it was a Wii U title and a Switch 1 launch title, and it ran brilliantly on both systems, but it ran especially good on the vanilla Switch. You know, we didn't have the OLED, we didn't have, like, you know, an updated model. It was just the vanilla Switch. And then we moved on from that to the Switch Lite, to the Switch OLED, and you know, they messed around with like battery power over CPU ingenuity over battery power, and then they finally like wrestled. They came to a pretty satisfying conclusion with what they came out with the Switch OLED, concluding the family of vanilla Nintendo Switches. You know, now we're in the new Nintendo Switch era, like the new 3DS era, the Switch 2. And this iteration of the Switch has really, I mean, people have been really taken with it. You know, there are people who I've known that are enjoying the console. I've gotten to play it a couple times, and I gotta say, you know, it feels great to play on. The only real issue is that the price is too high. The price is obnoxiously high. Like when you're comparing the 3DS launched at $250, then it dropped down to $170 because there was nothing to play on it. It was just it saw a significant price drop, and then you know, Nintendo wasn't faring that much better with the Wii U. Like, they weren't gonna fare that much better because the Wii U was basically just a Wii but with two screens, and now like HD, but you know, it's too little too late for that. 3DS, new 3DS came out at I believe it was $299. Yeah, I believe it was $200 at launch, or it could have been like $270, something like that. And it was good. Like, it was actually a fair price, and you were getting a lot of bang for your buck, because not only did it play like the 4 games that were optimized for new 3DS, like Xenoblade Chronicles, a remake of Xenoblade Chronicles that's portable. Ooh, you know, but it also got the whole library of DS and the whole library of 3DS games, as well as anything new they were going to add. And they did add new stuff, like you could play Super Nintendo games, and for some reason on the regular 3DS you couldn't. So there was a lot of reasons to have a new 3DS, and there are people buying it anyways, because out of everything, I mean, handheld gaming, the 3DS dominated. Like, there was no competition. Like, even though PS Vita came out sooner, and the Vita, yeah, they had some heavy hitters like Gravity Rush at the beginning of the Vita. It didn't hold a candle to the 3DS in terms of like variations of games, and I don't know. I feel like the 3DS hit a wider audience because of the popularity of the DS. Like, if it wasn't for the DS, I don't think the 3DS would have sold quite as well. If they had come out with the 3DS first, I think the DS definitely needed to solidify itself as the dominant handheld. But yeah, I mean, handheld gaming was changing. The landscape of mobile gaming changed, and as the landscape of mobile gaming was changing, handheld gaming needed to change. You saw more kids using iPads than actual consoles, so just naturally, like, the consoles, like, Nintendo took that concept of like an iPad and made it into like, okay, you know what? The next console we make is gonna have a screen on the controller. And that screen is gonna be used for many things. And I don't think people really appreciated just how versatile that was. They put a microphone on it, they made it a dual screen, a touch screen. Every button that was on a controller was every button on there. The control stick and everything were on the left and right, and they were on the top while the buttons are on the bottom. It was just a really nice, really imaginative console. I don't see them really repeating what they did with that console anytime soon. But when the Switch came out, and there was rumors of it being a hybrid, and then those rumors ended up being true, this got a lot of people excited. I mean, people were skeptical because they didn't want another Wii U, and Nintendo didn't want another Wii U situation where they were only going to sell less than like 300,000 copies. But I think with the last hurrah, that was, you know, Satoru Iwata, you know, making changes to the company before he passed away. You know, he had involvement in Pokemon Go and like all these different things that were gonna have future relevance, like Pokemon Go being able to connect with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then eventually you could connect it with Sword and Shield. That was cool. You know, the Pokewalker being like a universal Pokemon thing, kind of like not the Pokewalker, the Pokeball Plus. Just all these features that, you know, in the past, in the 3DS days, like they were gimmicky, but they were cool because they were gimmicky. Like you have a pedometer that's so accurate. It didn't need to be that accurate of a pedometer, but it was. And it happens to be just this niche little cool feature for Pokemon as well. That was a really close battle. I really liked that. Excellent, I can feel the fire of your convictions burning deep within your heart. This is why we battle, to reach understanding, trainer to trainer, trainer to Pokemon, and Pokemon to Pokemon. I suppose that is why AZ, like you, wished for the ZA Royale to resume. 5 years ago, a group of children stood against me in defiance. If I tried to understand them, perhaps I would never have fired the ultimate weapon. We gonna fight Zygarde right now? Zygarde. Or is he just gonna join our team? How curious. I believe it meant to beckon you to the tower. That much is what I can intuit from my experience working with Zygarde. What it wants with you at that faithful place, I cannot say. I will say this, the Lumiose City theme, as much as I like it, and I love Insane in the Rain. Like when I heard Insane in the Rain, if you don't know him, please listen to his Pokemon renditions. Like he makes beautiful jazz renditions of Pokemon songs. I've been listening to him for years. When I heard Insane in the Rain worked on the soundtrack for this, my mind was blown. I was like, that's crazy. I am so happy. One of my favorite YouTube musicians got to be part of this game, and it's an official Pokemon game too. It makes me happy when I hear stories like that. too bad there's no way to jump. I mean, you got this, but it's more of a glide than a jump. Next Pokemon game, they should introduce the grappling hook or the hook shot from Zelda or something like that. So you could like make like a quick getaway to the rooftops. Just throwing that idea out there for Game Freak if they ever decide to do another Pokemon game that happens to take place in a city. I mean, I don't know if they plan on doing a Legends game for Unova, but that would be really interesting if they did that for Unova. Just have everything take place in Castelia City. And just make it like a one-to-one with Manhattan. Just make it like Manhattan, basically. Legends Galar might be more open again, based on like some leaked image I saw. Like I don't, and that's another thing. It's like I don't always trust leaks because you know they could be based on like old conceptual footage, and none of it can be reused in an actual game. But from the looks of it, it's like Legends Galar looks like it's another like mission-based thing, kind of like Legends Arceus. This looks like a peculiar trainer. I'm just interested to see what she has to do with anything. Just now you beamed a message into my brain, did you not? No, that wasn't me. What's up with this long silence? There's no need for pretense, my friend. You are clearly one of us. We are all trainers who live in the blessed company of Starmie. Oh no. Please join our next gathering. We shall invite the Starmie dwelling among the stars to descend and grace us with their presence. For as we know, Starmie are none other than the very stars themselves. Return here at night and make sure you're accompanied by a Starmie of your own. Starmie on high. So, looks like Starmie has its own cult. That's not creepy at all. I have a Staryu that I have to evolve into a Starmie. We never actually see how Mega Evolution hurts the Pokemon though. Oh wait, why am I going to Quasartico? I meant to go to we gotta meet Zygarde over here at the tower. There's Hippowdons here supposedly, so gotta be careful. You know what? Before we go in, we should heal up at a Pokemon Center. I'm gonna take Pidgey out with me just in case. Look, I gotta sell some stuff. I got a lot of stuff in my online battles. Seriously, if you have this game, do the online rank battles. You get so much money from it. And then that kind of makes, I mean, it kind of makes going through the game a breeze, but it's worth it. It's worth it. actually need you to heal that Pokemon too. Just gonna buy 10 revives. Make that 20 revives. Oh shit. By the way, if you ever want to preserve your Master Ball, this guy always picks them up for you. So just toss your Master Ball randomly at a wall or next to him, and you never have to worry about losing it. And then just have a Pokemon in your box. You have a Pokemon in your box, hold them too. Might change your moves a bit. Teach you Heat Wave. What are all these sport balls? I gotta remember to save my progress before entering the wild zone. Alright, for this match, I'm not taking any chances. I'm just gonna go all out. Just gonna go all out. I'm ready to battle Zygarde. Now in X and Y, Zygarde retreated to a little cave that was right outside of Luminous, if I remember correctly. So here he just decides to challenge us. Please prove your might to Zygarde. Oh, now he's in his 50% form. So he changes forms. Sounds about right. Oh no. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. I'm trying to heal. Oh sugar. Huh? Shoot. Starting to feel kind of stupid here. Alright, I'm done with this. Don't tell me I gotta fight it, it's 100% form. Oh, jeez, of course. Now we gotta fight Optimus Prime. How's that for you? It's just its complete form. Oh darn, maybe I'm a little more tired than I thought. Eesh. Maybe I gotta put in for like level 50 and above. No. Level level 70 and above because everything. That was brutal. Let's do this thing again. I'm ready for this. I'm gonna need some water. We're back. I should have taught him an ice move before bringing him out here. Oh, shoot. Can't believe this. Clean up your Pokemon and try again. How are you supposed to open it? Leave this for tomorrow. Just gonna save what I can. Leave this for tomorrow. I'll pick this up where I left off, no worries.